Buying a house is one of the biggest financial moves you'll ever make. But if you're like most people, the process can feel confusing and overwhelming. There's so much to think about: saving for a down payment, getting a mortgage, making offers, inspections, closing, and finally moving in. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through the entire process step by step. By the end, you'll have a clear roadmap for how to buy a house, from getting your finances ready all the way to receiving your keys. Whether you're a first-time buyer or just looking to brush up on the process, this video is going to give you everything you need to approach homeownership with confidence. Let's start with the foundation: preparation. The very first step in buying a home is making sure your finances are in order. Before you even start looking at houses, you need to know where you stand. That means calculating your income, your monthly expenses, and your debt. Most lenders want to see that your debt-to-income ratio is under 36%. If your monthly debt payments are taking up too much of your income, it might be smart to pay some of that down first. Next is your credit score. This little number plays a huge role in how much you can borrow and at what interest rate. A higher credit score usually means a lower interest rate, and over the life of a 30-year loan, that can save you tens of thousands of dollars. So pay down those credit cards, avoid opening new lines of credit, and check your credit report for errors. Now, let's talk about saving. You'll need money for a down payment and also for closing costs. Your down payment could range from as little as 5% to as much as 20% or more, depending on the loan you choose. On top of that, closing costs, things like appraisal fees, title fees, and lender charges, usually add another 2 to 5% of the home price. It might sound like a lot, but remember, saving consistently, setting up an automatic savings plan, or even using side income can get you there quicker than you think. And here's a pro tip: keep an emergency fund separate from your house savings. You don't want to empty your bank account just to get the keys. Once your finances are in order, the next step is knowing exactly how much house you can afford. The best way to do this is to get pre-approved for a mortgage, not just pre-qualified. Pre-qualification is a quick estimate. Pre-approval, on the other hand, means the lender has actually looked at your income, your debts, and your credit, and they've given you a clear number you can borrow. This makes you much more attractive to sellers. Now, a common guideline is the 28 of 36 rule. Your housing costs, that's mortgage, taxes, and insurance, should stay under 28% of your gross income. And your total debt payments, including things like car loans and student loans, should stay under 36%. But don't stop there. Homeownership comes with hidden costs: property taxes, homeowners insurance, utilities, and repairs. A smart rule of thumb is to budget at least 1% of your home's value each year for maintenance. If you buy a $300,000 house, set aside around $3,000 a year just for upkeep. That way, when something breaks, and it will, you won't be blindsided. Now comes the fun part: house hunting. The very first thing to focus on is location. A great house in the wrong neighborhood is still the wrong house. Research the area. What are the schools like? How's the commute? Is the neighborhood safe? What's nearby? Shopping, parks, restaurants? And don't forget to look at future development. A quiet street today could turn into a busy intersection tomorrow. Second, make a list of needs versus wants. Needs are non-negotiables: number of bedrooms, distance from work, maybe accessibility features. Wants are nice-to-haves: granite countertops, a pool, a big yard. Keeping this list handy will help you stay focused when you're tempted by shiny extras. Third, consider working with a real estate agent. As a buyer, you usually don't pay their commission, the seller does. A good agent can give you insider knowledge, handle negotiations, and guide you through the paperwork. And while online listings are helpful, don't rely on photos alone. Visit neighborhoods at different times of the day. Walk through homes in person. Sometimes, what looks perfect online feels completely different when you're standing inside it. Once you've found the right house, it's time to make an offer. Start by researching the market value. Look at comparable homes in the area, what similar houses have sold for recently. This helps you figure out if the asking price is fair. Then, put together a strong offer. That usually means offering a competitive price, showing you're pre-approved, and including earnest money, a deposit that shows the seller you're serious. You'll also want to include contingencies. Common ones are a financing contingency, an inspection contingency, and an appraisal contingency. These give you a way out if something goes wrong. And when it comes to negotiation, stay realistic. Don't get too emotionally attached because sometimes walking away is the smartest move. Focus on the long-term value, not winning at all costs. After your offer is accepted, two critical steps happen: the inspection and the appraisal. The inspection is where a professional goes through the home and looks for problems. They'll check the foundation, the roof, plumbing, electrical systems, everything. If they find issues, you can ask the seller to fix them or negotiate a lower price. The appraisal, on the other hand, is required by your lender. They want to make sure the house is worth what you're paying for it. If the appraisal comes in lower than the purchase price, you may need to renegotiate or come up with extra cash. Both steps are designed to protect you from overpaying or buying a property with hidden problems. Now let's talk about finalizing your mortgage. You'll need to choose the right loan type. Fixed-rate mortgages keep your interest rate the same for the entire loan, making your payments predictable. Adjustable-rate mortgages usually start lower but can change over time. Then you've got FHA loans, VA loans, and conventional loans, each with their own rules and benefits. Once you've chosen, it's smart to lock your interest rate. Rates can change daily, and locking ensures your rate won't jump before you close. And here's a crucial warning: don't make big financial moves before closing. Don't take on new debt, don't switch jobs, and don't make large purchases. Lenders will check your finances again right before final approval, and any big changes could delay or even cancel your loan. Now we're at the finish line: closing. A few days before closing, you'll get what's called a closing disclosure. This document lays out your loan terms, monthly payment, interest rate, and all the fees you'll be paying. Review it carefully, and if something looks off, ask questions. Next comes the final walkthrough of the home. This is your chance to make sure repairs were made and that everything is as agreed. Check appliances, outlets, plumbing, and make sure nothing has changed since your last visit. On closing day, you'll sit down, sign a mountain of paperwork, pay your closing costs, and then you get the keys. Congratulations, you're officially a homeowner. So, you've moved in. What's next? First, set up your utilities: electricity, water, gas, internet. Get those switched into your name right away. Second, prioritize safety. Change the locks, check smoke detectors, and, if possible, consider a security system. And third, create a maintenance plan. Houses need regular care, things like HVAC servicing, gutter cleaning, and landscaping. Schedule these tasks and budget for them. Keeping up with small maintenance jobs will prevent bigger, more expensive problems down the road. And that's the complete roadmap to buying a house. From preparing your finances to moving in, the process can seem overwhelming, but when you break it down step by step, it becomes much more manageable. If you found this guide helpful, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more personal finance and real estate tips, and let me know in the comments, what's the biggest question or worry you have about buying a house? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.